because it's hard to not compare this movie to the Simpsons movie. It's just that there's not, aside from Pokemon, it's not that many animated TV shows that get movies. So, after being on TV for what feels like at least 10 years at this point, Bob's Burgers, the TV show, has finally gotten a movie. I have been a huge Bob's Burgers fan since the show first came out. I thought it was fantastic. It took them a couple of seasons to kind of find their footing, as is pretty normal with most TV shows. But for the most part, I loved the show, and the only worry I really had was that it wasn't going to become popular enough to survive in that Fox lineup of like Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, those kinds of shows. Happy to say that Bob's Burgers not only survived, but is now becoming one of the longest running TV comedies in a long time. I think they're on season 12 currently, and they finally got a movie. First of many, maybe the only one, not really sure. I have a lot of thoughts on a movie like this. The first one though is that I just feel really happy and like proud of the people involved in the show, because this is a massive achievement. Like getting a TV show given a movie treatment, given a full theatrical release, that is not common. That does not happen that often. If it does, it's usually like a TV movie or released just on streaming, that sort of thing. So the fact that Bob's Burgers not only got their own movie, but it was released in theaters, which is how I went to see it, that is so cool. I'm so proud of everybody involved. I think going into this movie, one of my worries was that sometimes when you get a TV show that's given a movie treatment, the movie can just sort of feel like 3 or 4 episodes of the show just kind of bunched together into a film. And in my opinion, that's not how the Bob's Burgers movie felt, which I really appreciated, because it would have been really easy for them to kind of just do like a 4 or 5 part story, and there'd be really obvious points during the movie where it's like, that would have been where an episode ended and where another one started. That's not really what this movie is. It really is a full-length, like start to finish, a plot that doesn't slow down and just keeps going and has plenty of twists and turns and great moments. And I really appreciated that, because it made it feel like a real animated movie, not just a TV show that got a chance to make a movie, and that's a huge achievement. I also think they did a really good job sort of balancing a lot of the weirdness that makes Bob's Burgers special, while also making it feel just a little bit more serious in terms of like making a movie that actually like flows and is cohesive, and it has like a story that you're invested in. And they went, you know, sort of a safe route, murder mystery, which a lot of people love murder mysteries. I do too. I think it's a very safe choice for a movie, and I'd say overall it worked out pretty well. Now, all that being said, I think that they were trying to walk a fine line, and in doing so, they didn't bring in all of the characters that makes Bob's Burgers so special. So certain characters like Gail were not in this. They show up in the credits, just like the actual animated credits, but they weren't in the film. There were a lot of characters that I was kind of hoping would get more to do with the movie, even just popping in. But at the same time, do they want to do what the Simpsons movie did, where they really do try to cram in every single character that's ever been on the show? And on that note, I also thought, because it's hard to not compare this movie to the Simpsons movie, it's just that there's not, aside from Pokemon, it's not that many animated TV shows that get movies, I guess, besides Chip and Dale. Great movie, by the way, go watch it. But one of the things that I liked that they did with this film was that it felt like a storyline that could have existed within the universe of the show, whereas the Simpsons movie was kind of a completely random storyline that the typical show would absolutely never do. I liked that this felt very grounded in the Bob's Burgers universe, because I think that helped the movie flow really well. Also gotta say, the animation for the Bob's Burgers TV show, it's not like the most expensive or glamorous looking, but it has a certain charm to it. The movie, the animation quality they got for this movie, like they went all out, which is so cool to see a lot of the different animation styles they used, and sort of like a 3D 2D combination for getting a lot of certain shots. That was really well done. It looked so high quality. It was almost like kind of jarring, because like if you're a fan of Bob's Burgers, you've kind of gotten used to the like not as flashy animation. So seeing all these characters get that treatment, while it was really cool to see, it was also like, wow, yeah, I guess guess the TV show doesn't look like this, but it looked really, really good. And I think that's my main takeaway from the Bob's Burgers movie. I think that if you're a fan of the show, I think you'll enjoy the movie. I felt like there was some minor attempt to try to get this film to appeal to people who may have never seen the show or have seen like a couple episodes here and there. I don't know if you're going to enjoy this movie if you haven't seen the show, or if you're not like a pretty big fan of the show, because more often than not, this film is trying to appeal to people who have been watching for like the last 10 years, which I appreciate. I think sometimes it's tough because it did sort of occasionally feel like they were somewhere between, do we want to make this like an animated movie that could stand on its own, or do we want to make this a movie that's really for the fans? And if anyone else who hasn't really seen the show likes it, great, but we don't really care. We're just doing it for the fans. If you're a diehard fan of the show, it's really hard to watch this movie and not just be having a ton of fun and enjoying it and just feeling really proud of everything the people involved have been able to accomplish.